All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we like to give all honor and glory and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstones. Double honors to the to the elders and apostles of Great Millstones. To the Akim out there teaching and preaching this truth with 144% sincerity. To the men, women, and children listening and learning. To the Bayash and Debadat, the house of David. All right. This is Men of Valor, Las Vegas camp. All right. And through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, we're going to go ahead and get camp started. All right. So first and foremost, let's go ahead and go into the children of Israel. So you know who exactly we're talking to and who we are talking about. All right. So children of Israel is you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Hispanics, Haitians, Guatemalans, Puerto Ricans. All right. As you see on this chart right here. So you have these so-called Negroes, which would be the tribe of Judah, so-called West Indians, which would be Benjamin, Levi would be Haitians, Simeon would be Dominicans, Zebulon would be Guatemalan to Panamanian, Ephraim would be Puerto Ricans, Manasseh would be Cubans, Gad would be North American Indians, Slovakia, Reuben would be Seminole Indians, Naphtali, Slovakia, the Argentinians to Chile, Asher would be the Colombians to Uruguay, and Issachar would be you so-called Mexicans. All right, these are the 12 tribes of Israel, which goes back to the line of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls God and Jesus Christ. Yahweh being the Father, Yahweh Shai being the Son, is the power of Israel. All right, and we are His people. All right, because this heritage book only belongs to the Israelites and to the Israelites alone. All right, so all the promises are for the Israelites. Salvation, which you so-called Christians call the rapture. All right, it is only salvation for the nation of Israel, and first and foremost of only the 1/3. All right, that is chosen as the heritage book the Bible speaks of. All right, so let's go ahead and get to these points and prove this. All right. Go ahead and start. Exodus chapter 1.
This is the book of Exodus chapter 1 and verse 1. Now these are the names of the children of Israel which came into Egypt. Every man of his household came with Jacob. Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah. Issachar, Zebulun, and Benjamin. Dan, Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. And all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls, for Joseph was in Egypt already.
So these are all the children of Israel. That Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls God and Jesus Christ or Jehovah or in any other title, all right, that is given. It's not His name. It is a title that you're speaking. Jehovah is a title, all right? Salakia, what is that other one?
Yahweh.
Yahweh is a title, all right? And let's go ahead and prove once again that we are Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai's chosen people. Matter of fact, go ahead, I got it, came up. This is Exodus chapter 19 and verse 3. And I'll read and one of you brothers break it down, all right? Exodus chapter 19 and verse 3. And it reads, and Moses went unto the power, and Yahweh called unto him out of the mountain, saying, thus shalt thou say unto the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel. All right, let's break it down. No need? All right, so it's to the house of Israel. All right, which once again is you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Seminole Indians, Haitians, Puerto Ricans, all the way down to Mexicans. All right, continuing on. Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bare you on eagle's wings, and brought you unto myself. Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people. Now, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh said, Slaki, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai said above all people. He didn't say some people once again. He didn't say 2 people. He didn't say 3 nations. He said all nations and all people. All right? For all the earth is mine, and ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests, and a holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. All right? So Yahweh Shemiah Shai said, these are the words that you will speak unto the children of Israel and Israel alone. All right? I will give them a covenant. What's that covenant? All right? What is a covenant? It's the law, statutes, and commandments, which the world knows as the 10 Commandments. All right? And that was given to who? To the children of Israel. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Seminole Indians, all the way down to the Mexicans. All right? And it does not matter if you're of any other nation. All right? If your father's line goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and you're of the 12 tribes, then you would be considered a child of the Most High. All right? And I'm going to read Exodus chapter 20, and I'm just read verses 1 through 3. Slakia, 1 through 5. And it reads, And the power spake all these words, saying, I am Yahweh, thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven images, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the waters under the earth. Verse 5, Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, Yahweh, thy power, am jealous power, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon their children unto their third and fourth generation of them that hate me. All right, so we as a nation went off. All right, we disobeyed the law, statutes, and commandments of the covenant that Yahweh Shemiah Shai had set forth for his people. All right, and we disobeyed those. So now we fell subject under these rules. We worship other gods. He gave us directions not to worship any other god, not to bow ourselves down, to worship anything in the earth, under the earth, in the water. All right, and we actually did just that. All right. Brothers want to pull out something?
Yeah, I got the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, thy power. The Lord thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
God. So Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai said it once again. We are to be a peculiar, special treasure, a peculiar people unto him. All right? Above all people, above all nations. All right? The nation of Israel is above all nations. All right?
All right. This is Leviticus chapter 26, verse 13. I am the Lord your power, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt, that ye should not be their bondmen, and I have broken the bands of your yoke and made you go upright. But if ye will not hearken unto me, and will not do all these commandments, and if ye shall despise my statutes, or if your soul abhor my judgments, so that ye will not do all my commandments, but that ye break my covenant.
Khan, so I can read that one more time.
Verse 13.
Yeah. 13 through 15.
Going back in, Leviticus chapter 26, verse 13. I am the Lord your power, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt, that ye should not be their bondmen, and I have broken their bands of your yoke, and made you go upright. But if ye will not hearken unto me, and will not do all these commandments, and if ye shall despise my statutes, or if your soul abhor my judgments, so that ye will not do all my commandments, but that ye break my covenant.
Khan. So we didn't keep the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. All right? We did not hearken unto his word. All right? We said the judgments that you set forth, that's not for us. All right? As a nation. We said, no, that we can't do that. Even though when we entered the covenant, we said we would do all these things. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and pull that while that brother's looking something up. Salakia. This would be Genesis chapter 19 and verse 7 and 8. And it reads, and Moses came and called for the elders of the people and laid before the people and laid let me start over. And this is book of Exodus chapter 19 and verse 7. And Moses came and called for the elders of the people and laid before their faces all the words which Yahweh commanded him. And all the people answered together and said, all that Yahweh hath spoken, we will do. And Moses returned the words of the people unto Yahweh. All right, so we entered that covenant. We said we would do it, and we didn't keep the law, statutes, and commandments that were set forth. All right?
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 11, verse 26. And it reads, behold, I set before you this day a blessing and a curse. A blessing if ye obey the commandments of the Lord, your power, which I command you this day, and a curse if you will not obey the commandments of the Lord, your power. But turn aside out of the way, which I command you this day, to go after other powers, which ye have not known.
God. All right? So he set before us this day a gift and a curse. All right? If we would have obeyed, we would have had the gift. All right? But being that we didn't obey, we got the curse. All right? And ultimately, we are still going to get the gift. All right? But first, we had to get reprimanded. All right? Just as you would do to a child, if your son, your daughter went off. All right, went and broke the neighbor's window, or back talking you, all right, and told you to do something, and you're the parent. All right, I know that might be for some of you people in Babylon, but you know that's not how it works. You know, so our father Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and our big brother Yahweh Shai told us to do something, and we did not follow the directions. All right, so therefore we were reprimanded for it, and being reprimanded for it, the curses came upon us. All right. Matter of fact, let me jump. I'm gonna go to book of Exodus. It's gonna be chapter 34 and verse 7. And it reads, keeping mercy for thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgressions and sin, and that will by no means clear thee guilty, visiting the iniquity of their fathers upon the children and upon the children's children, unto the third and to the fourth generation. All right, once again, until the third and fourth generation for us being disrespectful little heathens. All right?
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 24 and verse 23. Chapter 4, book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4 and verse 23. Take heed unto yourselves, lest ye forget the covenant of the Lord your power, which he made with you, and make you a graven image, or the likeness of anything which the Lord thy power hath forbidden thee. For the Lord thy power is a consuming fire, even a jealous God.
God. So Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, Yahweh is a consuming fire, a jealous God. All right? He gave us direct commandment not to do these certain things, but we did them anyway. All right? So that's why we're in the state that we are in today. All right? Matter of fact, you got something? Go to, and Salakia, part of those curses, part of those curses was the Atlantic slave trade. All right? Was the Trail of Tears. All right?
Or the Indian Removal Act of 1680.
Yeah, the Indian Removal Act of 1680. All right? Serving our enemies. All right? Serving this base man, Esau Edom. All right? This is a part of those curses from not hearkening unto the word of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. All right? Deuteronomy 28 and 68.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68.
Come on.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
God. Matter of fact, read that one more time so I can go ahead and break it down.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Now, where's Egypt? All right? America. America is spiritually Sodom, Gomorrah, and Egypt. All right? Are we not in bondage? Do you not go to work every day? Were there not shackles and yokes of iron on the so-called African American? All right? Knowing that African American doesn't even exist. You're not black and you're not white. All right? Different shades of brown and red. All right? Continue.
Egypt again with ships by the way whereof I spake unto thee.
Ships by the way. All right? Atlantic slave trade. All right? Where did we come from? All right? What land did we come from on those ships? Continue.
Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen.
God, so when was the last time that most of you so-called Negroes, all right, Latinos, Native Americans, when's the last time you've been to Africa? All right, and when's the last time you've been to Israel? We know Israel was spread amongst, all right, spread throughout the four corners of the earth, but when's the last time you've been to the homeland? All right?
And no man shall buy you.
No man shall buy you. All right? We've been sold. Our women have been sold. Our children have been sold. All right? So there's nobody can save us. Only person who will save us is Yahweh Shai. And that's through Yahweh sending his only begotten son back for the children of Israel. And Israel alone. All right? Matter of fact, let's go ahead. We can move on. We can move on from that. Let's go ahead and jump in. Slovakia. Jump into Esau. This book of Exodus, Slovakia, or Genesis. When you got that? Come on. Slovakia. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 25, and I'm gonna start at verse 21, and it reads, "And Isaac entreated Yahweh for his wife because she was barren, and Yahweh was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived, and the children struggling together within her, and she said, If it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of Yahweh. And Yahweh said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb." All right? So Yahweh told her that 2 nations are in her womb. He didn't say 2 people. He said 2 nations. All right? 2 nations from the same seed, 2 nations. Continuing on. And Slovakia. "And 2 manner of people shall be separated from the bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger." Slovakia. Continuing on, verse 24. This is book of Genesis, chapter 25 and verse 24. "And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb." All right? So she had twin sons. All right? Verse 25. "And the first came out red all over, like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau." Well, through process of elimination, being in this world and seeing certain children being born, what children come out red? Typically, you so-called self-proclaimed white people, all right? Your children come out red, knowing that you're not white, because white would be the color of this page, all right? White would be the color of this right here, or color white. All right? White is snow. Snow is white, all right? So you're red. So once again, let me read that again. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 25 and verse 25. And the first came out red, all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. And after that came his brother out of his hand, Slakia, and his hand took hold of Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when he bare them. All right, so there was no emphasis on the color of Jacob. Why? Because the world was melanated. The entire world has melanin until what happened? Esau came along. All right, you had Cain, who killed Abel, who had the curse of leprosy put upon him. All right, and if any unclean act or anything was done, Yahweh Shem Yahushai had a curse of you on you as leprosy, that you were, to let you know that you were unclean. All right, so why would this be any different? What what is Esau Edom? To be so-called white is a lack of pigmentation. Therefore, you are without leprosy. Just saying. And that's not me saying, that's the Bible saying, Salaki. That's the scriptures, this heritage book, telling and revealing who the real devil is. All right?
And the name Esau means wasted away, is
Come. Salaki. All right? So, the Esau Edom is the so-called white man. Jacob would be the 12 tribes of Israel. All right? Let's go ahead and get that as far as Esau. All right? Salakia. And to be Salakia. So what's the significance of Esau? Jacob and Esau, all right? The significance of Jacob and Esau are the birthrights, are the key to this heritage book, all right? To understand who salvation is for and who salvation is not for. Who the sword of the Most High is, all right? Who the sword of the Most High is, and who's the righteous. Who's the wicked and who's the righteous. All right? All things in this book really pertain to these two nations. All right? You have the leading character, which would be Israel, and you have the supporting character, all right? The supporting cast and supporting character would be Esau Edom. All right? First and foremost, starting with Yahushai of Israel. All right? Because he comes out of the tribe of Judah. You got something? Now, I'm going to go down to... Go down to book of Genesis, chapter 25, and verse 29. And it reads, and Jacob sowed sold pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. All right. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with the same red pottage, for I am faint. Wherefore was his name called Edom. All right. Continue to verse 31. And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. So Jacob said, hey, this meat ain't done, this pottage ain't done, but if you want it, I'll sell it to you. Right? Because why? Jake was a hustler. You could easily say that. Jake said, if you want me to give you this, then sell me your birthright. Okay? Continuing on, verse 31, and Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. Verse 32, and Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do to me? Salakia. And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he swore unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. All right? So Edom sold his birthright unto Jacob, unto his younger brother, because he was hungry, he couldn't fast, he couldn't wait, he just wanted it when he wanted it. All right? He wanted it on his term and in his time. So he had to sell his birthright to get what he wanted. All right? Anybody would pull 26 to go into the Sarah planning? And it's that birthright, Salakia. It's that birthright and that and the blessing that Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai promised, all right, to the youngest son. All right, he told Sarah, Salakia. I said Sarah. He told Rebecca, Salakia. He told Rebecca that she would get her youngest son, which her younger son would be over the elder son, that the elder would serve the younger. All right? Remember, there's 2 nations of people in thy womb. All right? Who's got it? You got it? 26. Matter of fact, go ahead. No, jump. It's 27.
27.
Yeah. And you can start at read 23 through 25, and then for Esau, read 38 through 40.
All right, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 27, verse 23. And he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy as his brother Esau's hands. So he blessed him. And he said, art thou...
Slakia. Read up, because they don't get that count. Read 21.
Yep. Verse 21, and Isaac said unto Jacob, come near, I pray thee, that I may feel thee, my son, whether thou be my very son Esau or not.
Gone. So Isaac, the father of Esau, the father of Jacob, all right, had his son go out into the field and get him venison, all right? But his mother supplanted him along with his brother, Jacob, all right? Because she was told by Yahweh that the younger brother would be over the older brother, okay? And so she supplanted him because this was prophecy.
Verse 22, and Jacob went near unto Isaac his father, and he felt him, and said, the voice is Jacob's voice, but the voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are not the hands of Esau. And he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy as his brother Esau's hands. So he blessed him. And he said, art thou my very son Esau? And he said, I am.
Khan. So Jacob supplanted his father due to his mother's order, due to the order of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. All right, Yahweh gave her an order, all right, and let her know the prophecy, what was going to unfold, all right? that the younger shall be over the elder. Okay?
Verse 25, and he said, bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's venison, that my soul may bless thee. And he brought it near to him, and he did eat. And he brought him wine, and he drank. And his father Isaac said unto him, come near now, and kiss me, my son. And he came near and kissed him, and smelled the smell of raiment, and blessed him, and said, see, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field which the Lord hath blessed.
God. So Isaac smelled and felt that was Esau. All right? He felt that it was Esau because he felt his hands. He smelled the blessing of the field that was on him. All right? Because his mother had him go get a coat of his older brother. All right? And put it on him. All right?
Verse 28, therefore Yahweh give thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee, nations bow down to thee, be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be every one that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee.
God, so Yahweh Shem Yahushai allowed that blessing to go through. All right? So Yahweh had Isaac bless Jacob with the everything. All right? That his brother would be under him. All right?
Go ahead and pull 26, 27 to 38. Pull 38 to 40.
38 through 40. Start at 34.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 27, verse 34. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, bless me, even me also, O my father. And he said, thy brother came with subtlety, and he hath taken away thy blessing.
So he said, Esau cried, all right? He was crying. He said, bless me, even me, my father. All right? He's crying because Jacob supplanted his father. All right? And he got the blessing. All right? Continue.
Verse 36, and he said, is not he rightly named Jacob? For he hath supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he hath taken away my blessing.
So he said he took away his birthright. How did he take his birthright away when he sold it to him? He already sold the birthright to him. So Esau was lying then. I can't take something away that you sold to me.
And he said, hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son?
God. So Yahweh Shem Yahushai, Yahweh had Isaac give him everything. Everything. All right? Because that was the prophecy. All right?
Verse 38. And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the land, of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above.
So doesn't Esau Edom have the fatness of the earth now? Isn't he in every part of the world? All right, doesn't he own the best of everything? He has the best land, the best oil. All right, Esau Edom has the best technology. All right, and I'm talking about not just Babylon here in America. I'm talking about Esau as a nation, the nation of Edom. All right, they own everything. They have the best of everything. All right, because that's their blessing at this time.
And Isaac his father answered unto him and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of heaven from above. And by the sword shalt thou live.
Oh, by the sword. Now, once again, who's the sword of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai? All right, so by the sword shall thou live. Matter of fact, hold that right quick. It's the spirit right there. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 18 and verse 13, and it reads, Arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver me, Slakia, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Which is thy sword. So the sword of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is what? Esau, Edom. Continue.
And by the sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
God. Now, once again, I'm going to read that just... This is the book of Psalms, chapter 18, verse 13, and it reads, Arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. All right, so the sword of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is Esau, Edom. All right, so the curses, the laws, statutes, and commandments that we broke, he uses his sword, all right, to discipline his children. All right, which is Esau, Edom.
Verse 41, And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, The days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob.
God. And that goes to show that perpetual hatred that Esau, Edom, has for the children of Israel. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Seminole Indians, all right, Mexicans, you are the children of the Most High.
And this is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time of their iniquity had an end.
God. So when it had an end, Esau, Edom continued that persecution. All right?
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 44, verse 1. Yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant, and Israel, whom I have chosen. Thus saith the Lord that made thee, and formed thee from the womb, which will help thee. Fear not, O Jacob, my servant, and thou Jeshurun, whom I have chosen, for I will pour water upon him that is thirsty, and floods upon the dry ground. I will pour my spirit upon thy seed, and my blessing upon thine offspring. And they shall spring up as among the grass, as willows by the water courses. One shall say, I am the Lord's, and another shall call himself by the name of Jacob, and another shall subscribe with his hand unto the Lord, and surname himself by the name of Israel.